Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Ayna Paisley. I'm an artist from Moscow, Russia. You can tell by the scarf, right? Because it's getting so cold in here in autumn, and even my studio is still a little cold. So unfortunately I need to keep this on to keep myself warm. So today we're going to be doing an introduction to color mixing, and we're going to be working with this beautiful infinity series of oil sets by Zen Art Supplies, which is logical because I'm the ambassador of Zen Art Supplies, and I'm here to tell you how to work with the art supplies from this brand. And today specifically we're going to be getting familiar with the color wheel, with mixing. We're going to be creating our own color wheel. We're going to be introducing ourselves to the paints, to mixing the paints, because this is very important. When you get a new set of paints, it's very important, even if you're a professional and you know what you're doing, it's important to get familiar with what you're having with the colors and how do they blend together, how to create beautiful mixes. I think there's going to be at least another more of these videos in this color mixing guide series, because definitely don't want them to be too long and structured, so you can follow it and understand better what's first and what's second and what's third. And so today, let's get started with our color wheel. So the color wheel is a very famous concept. You've probably seen it already. If you're painting or if you're an artist, you definitely know what I'm going to be talking about. But nevertheless, as I said, even if you're a professional and you have new sets of colors, it's always better if you create another one of the color wheels using the exact same paints you're about to paint your painting with. So yes, this is a very simple color wheel. There's more advanced ones, but I thought for starters this is what we need. And you can see that there's obviously a wheel of colors, and you can see what are primary colors, what are secondary and tertiary. So this is basically all you need to study color and to understand what color mixes are going to work, what is best combinations for your painting to be vibrant. And obviously we're going to be getting a little more familiar with it and get a little deeper in the theory of how to combine these colors in the more beneficial way. But today we're just going to be experimenting with our paints and trying to recreate this color wheel of our own. So we already talked a little bit about these sets in the first video, and we understood that we basically have every color we need here, which is primary color and secondary color as well. And nevertheless, we're going to try to mix our own secondary and tertiary colors, because it's important to understand what reds and blues are going to give you the best combinations of these colors. But yes, when we're going to be starting working, I think this set is basically the best you can get for starting to paint with oils. This is literally everything you could ever need. You wouldn't need more than this, that's definitely for sure. Maybe a little less, but then nevertheless, if you have it all, then it's a perfect set for you to start with. And we're going to be painting our color wheel on, you can take a canvas on board, or even maybe a primed board if you know how to prime it for oil painting. Or another good version of a support for this would be maybe oil paper is good as well. So obviously we will need our support. I will be using a canvas board which is primed already, and of course we need our mixing palette, which is, this one is a tear-off palette, it's easy to clean. And of course we will need some brushes. I'm going to be using these excellent brushes by Zen Art Supplies, and I think I'll settle for this one. It's my favorite Badger brush. It's a Filbert Badger mix. I really like this one. It's one of my favorites. So let's get to it. So when you have such a big set of paints, you have several primary colors here. You have several yellows, several reds, and several blues. And the best thing to do this is to actually make several color wheels with several combinations of this yellows and reds and blues, and see what mixes are you going to have while mixing like different blues and different reds and yellows together. So this is what we're going to be doing, and I think we'll have a big enough support to place 3 rounds. Here they're not going to be big, but that's going to be more than enough for us to understand how the mixing of the colors work. And we need 12 of these little windows on, like, situated like so. So the yellow is going to be on the very top, and it forms a triangle with the blue and red, and there's 3 little windows next to each of these colors, and this is how you're going to form your wheel. The best way to do this quickly is to just take something that's round and it fits your canvas and just mark this down with a pencil, and there you go. And we're going to form three of the wheels with this sets of colors, and later we're going to decide which is going to be combined with which. And then what you're going to do when this circle is ready, you're going to divide it in 4 halves. Doesn't necessarily need to be very precise. And then since we have, this is our like 4 colors here, and we're just going to set little marks that this is our color window here and here and here and here. And what we need to do now is to just place these 2 colors in between over here. Yellow, yellow green, green, blue green, and so on. More or less even, but don't stress yourself if they're not. So that's it. This is our round, a little circle, and we should repeat this with each and every other circle. So there we have it. And now we're going to proceed with the mixing. Please don't forget to prepare a little bit of clear solvent for you to use while mixing your colors, because whenever we mix a new color, our brush is supposed to be completely clean. Otherwise, you're going to mix in the wrong color in your mix, and you're not going to see the result correctly. So please make sure you have odorless. I'm using odorless thinner. This one is a Russian brand. You can use whatever. It doesn't really matter at this point. It just needs to clean the brush. Also, I recommend using a little tissue just to help clean up your brush. If you have loads of color left over on your brush, do not dip it directly in the thinner, but take the residue of the color that you didn't need and then dip it in the solvent to clean. This way your solvent is going to be cleaner for longer and you don't need to change it that much. Okay, so we have our circles ready to start our color wheels. And before we do that, I just wanted to get into the details of mixing and how properly mix the paints. So to mix paints, it is always better to use a palette knife, because this way you're not going to end up with a lot of paint stuck in your brush, especially here on the very base of the brush, which is very bad for a brush, and for a painting process it's not good. Anyway, when you paint, try not to accumulate a lot of paint in this area of the brush. This way it's just better for you as an artist and for the brush to just preserve it. And this mixing knife comes in, palette knife, I'm sorry, comes in this Zenart Supply set of Renor brushes. It's a very good palette knife. I love how actually the handle is so round and it's very comfortable in your hand, and the size of the mixing knife is perfect for mixing paint even if you don't have a big mixing tray or a palette. And also there's just some rules. For example, if you want to create a lighter shade of whatever color you're using, the thing with oils is that whatever color you're going to use out of the tube, for example blues and reds and all the earthly colors, are very, very dark. So most of the time you actually need to add a little white into it to meet whatever color you want to meet, because the painting straight out of the tube is very dark, and this is how you can end up with a very dark and muddy painting if you don't do that. So even sometimes to tell apart colors, for example cobalt blue from viridian green and from like burnt umber, you need to actually mix in a little bit of white, because looking at it straight out of the tube you can't even tell what colors are which because they're so dark. So yes, this is a good rule to follow. Whenever you want to mix a lighter shade of the color that you're holding in your hand, you better use a little pile of white and you add color to it, because the color is actually so intense it's going to tint your white really, really fast. So you really need to be careful. And so our first color wheel, we're going to take colors that are considered like classic primary colors, and there's a cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and ultramarine blue, and they're all here in front of me, and I'm just going to take them. This is cadmium red hue, cadmium yellow hue, and ultramarine blue. So first we do is just open the paints, and I forgot to mention it the last time, this silicone little blocking little things are supposed to go out of your lid after you open it, because this is just for transportation's sake, so the oil that is kept in the tube to keep the oils fresh is not spilling out. So whenever you open your brushes and you just going to be using them for work, you just toss this one or recycle it. Yeah, so somewhere I already started painting with some colors and I don't even have it anymore, but it's better to just remove it. And I'm going to just put them on like this. Well, first what we're going to do is put yellow, red, and blue in our primary color spots. So here goes the red. Don't afraid to use. And it really doesn't matter if you're really accurate with it or not. Just need to put bright, clean color in there. And there I'm taking the rug and I'm going to wipe that off and really clean thoroughly my brush. This one is the blue. There we go. And the yellow. Here we have our primary colors, and for the experiment's sake you can just put the names of them. Ultramarine blue, cad yellow, and this is cad red. And so now we're going to mix the secondary colors, which are orange, green, violet. There you go. Take a little bit of blue, take a little bit of red, mix them together with your palette knife. So I'm going to put, this mixture is a little too red, so I'm going to put more blue in it to create this violet that we need. This is a good example of why it's important to mix your colors and to understand how they work. So right now we're trying to create a beautiful violet, right? Which is obviously a blue and a red color mixed together. But what do we see? This color, we're gonna add a little more white to understand the color, is not violet. It is either brown, reddish brown, or it turns bluish brown. It doesn't really create any violet. And well, I mean, it is a little bit violetish, but it's really not the vibrant, beautiful violet that we need. And it's a good example of how mixing colors not always gives the color that we're supposed to get, even though it's blue and red. So maybe one day you're going to need this beautiful brownish violet color, but just understand what colors are creating this so you can recreate it. Obviously we're going to do a couple more of this wheels and understand which colors are creating the better violets and better greens and so on and so on. But for right now, you see this is like a very like chocolate like color, I would say. This is not the violet that we were hoping for, right? But it's okay, let's keep going. So right now we need to create a green, and I'm going to mix, oh, forgot to clean my palette knife. I'm going to mix blue and yellow for that. Let's create a really beautiful warm green color. Maybe a little too yellow. Let's add up a little more blue into that. So there's this beautiful green, and we're going to put it here. Don't use all of it. We're going to use it a little later. So save some of the color if you don't really need to put all of it. You can add a little bit of white if you want, so you can see the color a little better. So right now we're going to create beautiful orange, and for that we're going to mix red and yellow, obviously. So there we go, creating beautiful orange here. Well, I can see that maybe it's a little bit towards red orange, so I'm going to add a little more cat yellow to that and mix it in. Okay, even more. Okay, this is more like it. This is more orange. That's a beautiful orange color, and all of it is because cat yellow and red, cadmium red is creating a really vibrant, beautiful oranges. It's really classic combo. And what we're going to do now is create tertiary colors, which are these little slits of white that are left, and for that we're going to mix in some of the secondary colors with the primary colors again. Watch this. So right now we're going to try to create yellow orange, and for that we need to add to this mixture a little bit of yellow, more yellow. And this is going to look something like this. Okay, there you go, yellow orange. So it's a little bit, it's something in between yellow and orange. You see that, right? And now we're going to add to this mixture a little bit of red and create something that's called red orange. So I'm going to take a part of this and mix it on the side here. So this is why I said save some of the mixtures that you created, because you needed to mix the tertiary colors. So this is like a warmer red, really. It sits somewhere over here. You see a beautiful range of colors from here to here. This is what we really needed to achieve. Okay, lovely. Now take off all the excess paint, wash your brush, and let's mix in some of the greens here. So to create something in between yellow and green, we need to mix obviously a little bit of cat yellow with the beautiful green that we have here. Let's see how it works. It's going to be this beautiful yellow olive, almost olive green. Well, olive is a little bit more blue in it, but so yellow green. There you go. Just take this. I think I can use more yellow. What do you think? Something like so. This is beautiful. Maybe like even a little bit more. Okay. This is great. This is what I wanted. And now we're going to use the green to create this bluish green. And for that, we're going to take a little bit of this green, which is almost gone. So we're going to create a little bit more. Okay, I overdid the yellow a little bit, but it's okay because we can always add more blue. I'm going to need more blue, so I'm just going to pop that out here. Okay, something like so. This is good. Need to become even more blue, so I'm going to mix it here on the side. Okay, this is good. Something that we really need. Maybe a touch of white is going to pop the color a little bit, just so we understand what the color is really. Now I think we can add a little more blue. Yes, definitely a little more blue here. Okay, see how cooler it is already? Really take your time doing this. You don't have to rush. You don't have to, you know, just be exact from the first time you're doing it. It's really hard to mix the color right. So you see, I'm just taking my time. I'm like remixing it if it went wrong. So this is what you need to do as well. I'm going to use a little bit of this free space over here because I think it's going to be more effective, efficient. And I need to create this blue violet color here, so I'm taking the leftover violet that we have mixed over here, well, chocolate violet that we called it, and just add a little blue to it and see what happens. And I'm going to put this right in here, in between the ultramarine blue and this chocolate violet that we created. Maybe a touch of white. And the white's here really just to show the color, because as I said, the colors are sometimes so dark you can't really tell what color it is, but right now I can see clearly that it's a cooler version of this color. And the red violet is all of that created with more red. Mixed in the red, so we're going to mix in some red in this mixture and put it here. Really dark too. Let's see if we can put a little bit of white and show the color better. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so now our color wheel is complete. I really like this one. It has really beautiful complicated mixture in here. The greens are brilliant in cat yellow and ultramarine blue combination, and let's not forget the oranges that are very vibrant, very clean. Then this was how you know that cat yellow and cat red gives just the best oranges really that you can achieve. So next we're going to do two other wheels with two different sets of three primary colors, and you're going to see how different they're going to turn out, all these greens and violets and oranges. And really what I would suggest is that you actually take all the yellows and all the reds and all the blues and create several color wheels. For example, mixing lemon yellow, you take it as a one color and you put different combinations of blues and reds. It seems like a lot of work, but it actually is very, very useful, because this is how you will understand what colors are creating which mixtures and which are better to creating warm colors and which are better to create green colors. So right now we're going to put this aside because we already used these colors. We're going to take cobalt blue, ruben red, and for example lemon yellow. I feel like this is a very good combination, and I would suggest you really keep this color wheels handy in your studio so you can look at it. Cobalt is a beautiful color. It's one of my favorites really. Cobalt blue, and then lemon yellow, very clean, sharp, beautiful yellow color. Put some yellow. Okay, now do you see how different this yellow is from the one we used here? First off, it's more transparent, and it actually says it on the tube. It says it's transparent. There you go. And cat yellow, on the contrary, is semi-opaque. And you can definitely see it when you're putting it on the canvas, because this transparent yellow color is see-through. Then I'm going to use the cobalt blue, obviously, and I'm going to put it here. Ruben red is this cool red color. It's going to create a beautiful violet. Okay, so now we're going to create this orange. Let's see what it gives us. Again, I took a little bit more red than I really had to, so I'm going to take less red, more of this yellow. Definitely less vibrant than this one, but I'd say it's more like I would prefer it in work than this one. It's very soft, very, very beautiful hue. Let's mix that green. Okay, out of yellow. Okay. So my camera shut down. I'm so sorry about this, but this is literally what we came up with. Beautiful green, grass green color, very, very vibrant. This is what I love about cobalt and lemon yellow, is that it creates the most beautiful greens. And I already put some in my little slit over here, so go ahead and do that. And I'm so sorry about my camera. Sometimes it just shuts down without any reason and I don't even know about it. Okay. Next we're going to create this violet, and for this I need obviously my mixing knife and some blue and some red mixed together. Let's see what is going to happen. This combination gave us a really, really beautiful violet. I feel like it's almost something we wanted to get here but we couldn't. I'm going to add a little more white to it so we can really see the color, and you can see it here. Really, really beautiful. I'm going to save that mixture. And now since we already have it on the palette knife, let's just create this tertiary colors of red violet and blue violet. And for that, I'm going to add a little more blue and create this more bluish violet color. Okay, that's a good bluish violet. Let's just add it to our wheel. Okay, maybe you can't really tell, but these colors are really, really different. This is more bluish, this is more reddish. This is going to be our reddish violet. Okay, maybe even a little more red. Let's see. As you can see, it's really hard to say when the colors are so dark if they're even like any different from each other. Now we're going to create these greens. Our beautiful grass green, and we're going to add a little bit more blue to it. Create this bluish green. Okay, beautiful color here. And what I like about Zenara Supplies sets is that there is not a lot of greens, already pre-made greens in there, but there's a lot of different yellows, blues, and reds, and that means that you can always mix your own color. And greens obviously are best always when they're mixed. Definitely more yellow. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to create these orangey colors, and for that, oh, I already put up the yellow. We need the yellow. Okay, and we're going to create this. Oh, some leftover greens. This is not good. I didn't clean the palette knife correctly, and you see the leftover greens just got into my orange mix, and it actually messed it all up. And restart, because it's really important to have clean tools. Otherwise, you're not going to get that beautiful colors. Here. Yep, it's beautiful red, orange, even maybe a little more red here. Let's see. Yep. There we go. And then we need a little more yellow to create this beautiful, beautiful yellow orange. Let's see. A bit more. Yep, there you go. And don't forget to put your colors in. This is cobalt, this is lemon yellow, and this is ruby red. Okay, now we're done with the second wheel, and you see it's a little different. It's going to be our last wheel, and this is going to be it for today. So let's do that. For this one, we're going to use cerulean blue, which is a really particular color, but I'm interested on what is going to be this mixes. This is a very, very weird combination of colors, to be honest, so I'm pretty excited on what's going to happen. So let's try that out. Indian yellow is very warm and it's very almost ochre-like yellow. Naphthol red is this, I would say, like something in between cat red and ruby red. But let's see how it does in mixes. Okay, so obviously first we're just putting it down here. Oh, it's a lovely blue color. Look at this. So excited about what it's going to give in the mixes. Okay, the red is over here. It's always better to count. There's definitely something in between the two of these, I'd say. This is beautiful, warm ochre yellow. Oh my god, it's going to give us something incredible right now. I know it already. Okay, let's do the green first. I'm really curious about that one. Beautiful green, really. Look at that. Okay, a little bit of white so you can see the color. Just a tad bit. There you go. Look at this green. It's lovely. Okay, I'm going to put it here. This is our secondary color, which is this beautiful green. Kind of looks like chromium oxide. Chromium oxide is a little more cold. Okay, beautiful. A little bit of red, like the last time. Okay, now we'll need a lot of this Indian yellow to create an orange because this red is so aggressive. It's very, very aggressive. So let's see what we have here. Do you see how much yellow I'm putting in this little dot of red? And it's still too reddish. Still too reddish. I'm going to need more orange than that. Okay, there we go. Now we have something more of what we need. Okay, very interesting color. Going to put it here. Okay, and the violet. This one and our cerulean, sorry. I think I'm going to need more than that for this super aggressive red. Let's see. Now this is a beautiful color. I feel like I like all the colors. Okay, now we have this violet. It's interesting. It's a little different from whatever we mixed before. Let's see. But nevertheless, it's pretty. It is violet indeed. It's more violet than that one. It's, again, something in between these two, I feel like. Okay, let's see. Very beautiful opaque color. Red violet here. Oh, maybe a little too red. There it goes. Yes, good. Red violet and the bluish version of the violet. This cerulean is so fantastic. I just love this color. Okay, there we go. The bluish version of the violet. Like so. Now let's create the greens. Add some more blue. I'm going to create the bluish green. Yeah, that's a lovely color right there. Beautiful. This is why you have to mix your greens, because you're never going to get this beautiful green out of the tube. Or, you know, you would just need buy 100 tubes of beautiful greens when you can just mix them. See how pretty is that? It's beautiful. Okay, more Indian yellow. Going to add here. Say more yellow even. There we go. We can even mix it right in the wheel, like I did here. It's a little darker because we didn't add any yellow or any white, but there we go. Just added some white. Orange, orange, orange. Okay, more red, and this is going to be our red-orange color. And yes, more yellow to create a yellowy orange. Maybe a little more yellows. I'd say that this yellow with reds do not create the most beautiful mixes, to be honest. They're a little muddy, and you see they're almost, it's hard to tell them apart, really. Okay, but nevertheless, our experiment is over, and this is Indian yellow. And this is ruby red. No, this is not ruby red. This is natural red. Okay, and cerulean blue. But nevertheless, our experiment is over, and right now we have this beautiful color wheels. They're actually telling us which combinations are created by which colors. I still suggest that you do you know, new mixes. Like, don't stop at the 3 wheels. Try, for example, a combination of cat yellow, natural red, and cobalt blue, or ultramarine blue and ruben red, right? It was, I think it was going to create absolutely mind-blowing violets, and lemon yellow. You know, just mix it up. Just try to understand your palette, just try to understand your colors. And next time we're going to dedicate a little more to how to place the colors on the palette, which is the best working, you know, formation of the colors on your palette. Obviously it's very individual, but still I'm going to show you how I do that to paint in oils. And also we're going to discuss a little bit more about achieving color harmony by using a limited palette, working with complementary colors. All of this will help you achieve a very beautiful color palette in your paintings. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you liked it, and you can see it can get a little messy, but this is what you need to do to dive in and explore your colors. And see you guys next time. Bye!